So, what is reincarnation? Have you been here many times? What does the experts say? We'll take a look into a story of a little boy that said he was a World War II pilot and was shot down and died. Can animals come back to their original families? Is it real or not? Let's take a look. If you like this content, please subscribe, like and comment, and share your thoughts. Also, look great and get your colorful karma tea if you have a twisted funny side. Thanks. Here is what they say reincarnation is. It's the philosophical or religious concept that the non-physical essence of a living being begins a new life in a different physical form or body after biological death. It's a core belief in many Eastern religions like Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism, and appears in some Western esoteric traditions as well. The specifics vary greatly depending on the belief system. It's crucial to understand that there's no scientifically verifiable evidence for reincarnation. Stories presented as evidence are anecdotal and rely on personal accounts, often lacking rigorous investigation and susceptible to suggestion or misinterpretation. Stories of young children claiming to remember details of a previous life, sometimes including verifiable information about the deceased person they claim to be. Here is the James Leininger story. James Leininger, a young boy, claimed to be the reincarnation of a WW2 pilot, recounting vivid details of a plane crash and specific events that couldn't be explained by his age or knowledge. While reincarnation remains unproven scientifically, his parents investigated his claims, uncovering remarkably consistent details about a specific pilot, James Huston Jr., whose plane, a Corsair, had indeed crashed in the Pacific during WW2. The specifics James recounted, the type of plane, the location of the crash, and even the name of the other pilot on board, matched Huston's documented history, adding to the compelling, though not definitively proven, narrative of his possible reincarnation. If people can reincarnate, can animals too? The concept of animal reincarnation, while not a tenet of all religions or belief systems, posits that the soul of a deceased animal can be reborn into another animal body. This belief often stems from a broader understanding of reincarnation, where the soul continues its journey through multiple lives, potentially experiencing different forms along the way. Proponents suggest that this cycle allows for karmic lessons to be learned and spiritual evolution to occur, even within the animal kingdom. Many believe that specific behaviors, personalities, or even physical similarities between animals across generations represent evidence of a reincarnated soul. These observations often involve strong emotional connections felt between humans and animals, further reinforcing the idea of a continuing spiritual bond. One example often cited, though subjective and without scientific basis, involves a woman who lost her beloved dog, a golden retriever named Max. Years later, she adopted another golden retriever puppy who exhibited remarkably similar behaviors and personality traits to Max, exhibiting the same playful energy, a fondness for certain toys, and even a similar sleeping posture. While some might interpret this as a simple coincidence or learned behavior, the woman firmly believes it was Max, reincarnated into a new body. Why do we reincarnate? The reasons for reincarnation vary by belief system, but common themes include karma, the idea that actions in one life have consequences in future lives. Reincarnation provides opportunities to work through karma and achieve spiritual growth. Is it spiritual evolution? This allows souls to evolve spiritually, learning lessons and progressing towards enlightenment or a higher state of being. Completion of unfinished business. Some believe we reincarnate to complete tasks or relationships left unresolved in a previous life. Here is an interesting question. Can we be born in the past or on other planets? The concept of reincarnation across different times is common in many belief systems. The idea is that the soul's journey transcends linear time. So, you may be living your life now, but your next reincarnation may be in the 1500s. An interesting concept. Can you be born on another planet or come from another planet to here? Some esoteric beliefs incorporate the possibility of reincarnation on other planets or in other dimensions. This is largely speculative and lacks empirical support. But just maybe you are from far away, or you are taking a long trip when you head to the great beyond. How long does it take? There's no defined time frame in most reincarnation beliefs. The time between lives is often considered irrelevant, focusing instead on the karmic progression of the soul. Some beliefs suggest a relatively quick rebirth, while others allow for periods of spiritual development between lives. How do we learn about our past lives, and who were we? You can do regression therapy. Some therapists utilize past life regression techniques, guiding clients into a hypnotic state to explore potential past lives. While some find these experiences profound, their validity is highly debated, as memories accessed in this state are not necessarily accurate reflections of past lives. One more mind-blowing concept. Is Earth really heaven? The idea that Earth is a kind of amusement park for beings from an astral plane is a popular concept in some spiritual and philosophical traditions, but it's not a scientifically supported one. The question of whether Earth could be heaven is entirely dependent on your definition of heaven. If heaven is defined as a place of perfect bliss and spiritual fulfillment, then Earth, as it currently exists with suffering, conflict, and imperfection, clearly doesn't fit that description for most people. However, some spiritual perspectives argue that heaven isn't a location but a state of being. From this viewpoint, Earth could potentially be a place where individuals experience heaven through acts of love, compassion, connection, and the pursuit of spiritual growth. This perspective focuses on the potential for heaven within the earthly experience, rather than a separate location. Is heaven here or in you? One last concept to consider. The concept that heaven or a heavenly state is inside you and how you perceive the world is a core tenet of many mystical and spiritual traditions. It doesn't necessarily mean a literal heaven in the afterlife, but rather a state of being, a quality of consciousness that's accessible here and now. This perspective emphasizes that heaven isn't a place, but a state of inner peace, joy, and enlightenment. It's achieved through practices like meditation, mindfulness, and spiritual disciplines that cultivate inner stillness and clarity. The world is then perceived not through the lens of suffering or ego, but through a lens of compassion, acceptance, and understanding. Heaven is the experience of being fully present and connected to a deeper reality. Shifting perception, not location. This view suggests that heaven isn't a physical place waiting for you after death, but rather a different way of experiencing this world. Your perception determines your reality. A heaven-like state is created by cultivating positive emotions, compassion, and a sense of connection with all beings. The world itself doesn't change, but your experience of it transforms. The journey to find heaven is a journey of self-discovery and overcoming limitations, leading to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. The concept of reincarnation, while offering a comforting notion of continued existence and karmic justice, remains ultimately unprovable. Whether it's a spiritual truth, a comforting myth, or a psychological phenomenon, its appeal lies in its exploration of life's meaning and the enduring nature of the self beyond physical death. The question, for each individual, remains a matter of personal belief.